Excuse me, miss. Could you bring me a beer, please?
It's Sunday morning on CBS.
Hello, Bobby.
And here again is Jane Pauley.
Since the start of her teenage romance with Elvis more than 60 years ago, Priscilla Presley has spent most of her life in the public eye. This morning, she's looking back at those tumultuous decades. Once again, here's Lee Cowan.
Elvis Presley weds Priscilla and Bololo.
It was a truly Vegas affair at the Aladdin Hotel. Elvis in a paisley tux, Priscilla with a rhinestone tiara.
Why did the pelvis desert bachelorhood? Said he, it's about time.
Walking through a party in the county jail. The prison band was there and they began to wail.
By the time they met, when Priscilla was just 14, Elvis had already gyrated his way into pop culture.
Everybody let her rock.
From his music to his movies.
You're all wet.
If you're out of here in about 3 seconds, I'm going to put you over my knee.
But I'm only wearing a...
That's good, because you're going to feel it.
He redefined what celebrity was. And yet, Hollywood was no place for him.
He'd always go back to Memphis.
Really?
Yeah, that's where home was.
He didn't really like L.A., or?
Not really.
Priscilla Presley, now 80, met Elvis when he was in the Army, stationed in Germany. The only thing that made more news than their relationship was their divorce in 1973.
I mean, I was very much in love with Elvis, very much. But
Strikes me you still are.
I am still very much in love with him. I didn't leave him because I didn't love him. I just couldn't live the life.
Her split from Elvis is where she begins Softly As I Leave You, what she says is her final telling of what it was like to be a queen to the king, and what came after.
I was living Elvis's life. It was all about him. I had to find me. Who was I? I was Elvis's wife. I don't think we could ever have a life that I wanted. I wanted him for myself.
But so did his fans. Elvis, it seemed, was destined to be shared.
The lady loves me, but she doesn't know it yet.
I thought, well, what if he runs into someone he falls in love with? And I mentioned that to him, and he goes, you don't have to worry, you never have to worry. But when you see these beautiful girls hanging out, I'm going, could that be the one?
I'm just a red-blooded boy and I can't stop thinking about girls sailing sailboats, girl water skiing.
I couldn't live a life of being in panic all the time of losing him to someone else.
That's what you were most afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were around all the time.
There were affairs on both sides, and yet after their divorce, they still couldn't quite quit each other.
The two of you really stayed uncommonly close, really.
Mm-hmm.
He never remarried, you never remarried. Mm-hmm. What are we to make of that?
We couldn't find anyone else.
Well, the bar's pretty high for both sides.
True.
She started businesses and began taking acting classes. She says it helped with her shyness and grew her confidence. She was also busy raising her and Elvis's only daughter, Lisa Marie. They had joint custody for nearly 4 years before it all ended.
This is a CBS News special report.
At 42, Elvis was gone.
Elvis Presley was buried today amid scenes that reflected the birth of his gaudy career 21 years ago.
Priscilla had seen the changes, the bloating, the slurred words, the drugs.
Was there anybody around him who could
convince
him to stop?
No, you couldn't convince Elvis on anything unless that he believed in it or, thought about it. And thought
You tried to
right.
bring it up.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about how the doctors would basically give him anything he
Anything.
wanted. So
that
they
was
were
there.
really enabling
Mm-hmm.
it, right?
Very much. He was Elvis. You're not going to say no to Elvis.
In his absence sat Graceland, the Memphis mansion that had been hemorrhaging money. The urge was to sell.
And I looked at the guy who was telling me, the attorney, and I said, that will never happen.
I'm happy you can join us now, as we make our own private tour of Graceland.
Instead, she opened it to the public. It went from a home to a family shrine.
It's like a dream. I can't even really tell you what I seen in there.
By the time Lisa Marie turned 25, Elvis's inheritance was hers. It was 1993. The same year, another king popped the question, the king of pop, Michael Jackson.
We were walking on the beach, and she said, "Mom, you know, Michael wants to get married." I said, "Lisa, I'm not really for it." And she goes, "Why not?" I go, "Who are you?" Michael Jackson, Lisa Presley. And I knew that Michael loved attention.
Yeah.
Which he did. I knew that's the reason why. They didn't even know each other that long.
Nordberg, hiya, buddy. Hey.
She was no fan of another celebrity, O.J. Simpson. She worked with him on the Naked Gun series.
He could be very, very nice, but I just felt something about him in the way he was with his wife, and it didn't set well with me.
That said, she was a huge fan of co-star Leslie Nielsen.
She was giving me a look I could feel in my hip pocket. Yep, this was starting to get interesting.
She'd never done comedy before. She was thought in most circles as a more serious actor after this role a few years before.
You're persistent, aren't you?
If I have to be.
All right. You have a date to the Oil Barons Ball.
Dallas was a spotlight the size of Texas, and Priscilla's role as Jenna Wade put her in the pop zeitgeist all over again.
It's time. We should be getting married.
Yes.
She left the series after having her second child, Navarone, with her longtime partner Marco Garibaldi. In 2023, her last physical link with Elvis left. Lisa Marie. She died suddenly at her home in California from complications after bariatric surgery. And once again, the Presley name was draped in grief.
I miss her every day. I miss her. But I have to, let that go and live my life. But her spirit is still with me, very, very much.
She's buried at Graceland, like her dad. Priscilla will be there one day too, she says. For her, the first home she had as a married woman will be her last. That's not looking backward, she says. It's a comfort for the future.
When you stop and think about it, we're not here that long.
Yeah.
We're not. All of a sudden we're older and we think, wow, I don't want to hold on to bad things. I don't want to hold on to, things that are in the past that happened. I want to move forward.